거듭 안내 말씀드리겠습니다. 자리를 잡고 앉아주시기 바랍니다. 자, 그러면 다음 프로그램으로 우리 로렌스팩 박사께서 종북주의자들에 활동하는 종북주의자들에 대한 강연을 시작하겠습니다. 로렌스팩. 로렌스 박사님은 그동안 한 10여 년 이상을 이 LA 내, 특히 미국 내뿐 아니라 LA 내의 종북주의자들의 그 활동사항을 한 10여 년 이상 추적해 오신 분입니다. 이 양반은 그 종북제 계보를 아주 강하게 들고 계세요. 워낙에 UCLA에서 법학을 전공하시고 로열라 JD를 하셨습니다. 그리고 저 한국의 진행장하고 삼성에서 한 6년간 일을 하시다가 귀국하셨기 때문에 한국어도 꽤 유창하신 편이고 상당히 그 한국을 사랑하시는 분입니다. 이 양반이 이제 그 종북 활동, 미국 내에서의 종북 활동에 대해서 강의 말씀이 있으시겠습니다.
My presentation today, as you can see, is about pro-North Korean, anti-American groups who were leading, controlling, dominating the Chokbol Shiwi in Los Angeles in December and November of last year. Not the ordinary people who were there, but the people who controlled the message, the people holding the mic, the people organizing, sponsoring the group. You can see here a list of some of the pro-North Korean groups which organized, sponsored, promoted the candlelight rallies in LA. As you know from Korea, the 6.15 실천 선언 실천 서부 지역 위원회 in Korea, that's 이적 단체. And 민족 통신, 로길남's group was sponsoring, involved. Members were there. 제니동포 전국 연합회, also Jongbuk group. A local group, 사사세 사람 사는 세상. Maybe in Korea they have a branch. And then they have the Ganchok Huon group, the Prisoners of Conscience Committee, Yangshim Sugu Wiwonwe. They have U.S. branch, just like in Korea. They have a branch to defend the Ganchok. The local group, LA Shibukwe, and Kiwa, that stands for Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance. In Korean, sometimes they call Nodong Yonde. Nanum Cultural Center, Uri Munhwa Nanum Hue. Neosa, 내일 여는 사람들. Action for One Korea. It's a local group, but it has chapters in Korea. And of course, Pominyon JB Bungbu, of course, also 이적 단체, 대한민국 법원으로서. Those are some of the groups. Some of these groups are openly, proudly Jongbuk, pro-North Korean. Others are what I call front groups. They pretend we're just Pyeonghwa Tongyil, but actually they're Jongbuk. You can go next. Here are some of the people. Here are some of the people who were leading the rallies, and you can see them. I have a picture here, Mr. Yong-shik, and I listed his connections, his young groups he's a member of, groups he's involved with, and you can see he was involved with Pominyon. He was a writer for Rogyalnam's 민족 통신. He worked for Rogyalnam, LA Shibukwe leader. 미공산당, very close with the American Communist Party. He goes to meetings in office of 미공산당 in their samuship in LA. Now, this week he was in Japan. He was visiting Chochongnyeon in Japan. He was giving a talk in Japan at Chochongnyeon. He's a supporter of Lee Seok-gi. Sometimes you could see him in front of the Hanbuk Cheongyongsakwon with a sign, Lee Seok-gi Sakbang. And he was a supporter of the spy, the real spy, Ganchop Ye Jong-un. You remember Ye Jong-un case about 15 years ago. Ye Jong-un was arrested as being a spy by FBI, convicted in court, spy of North Korea. He supported him. And you can see on that side, he's with the famous, another Ganchop from Korea, Chang Min-ho. Chang Min-ho came to LA after he was kicked out of Korea. He was from the famous Il-Shimuhae Ganchop Sagon. Yeah, so here's someone lead. You can see him here at the Park Geun-hye Tanek Shiwi, and that's him. The next slide. Another person, Park Yong-jun. He is a member of the group Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance, leader of a group Uri Munhwa Nanum Bae. I said there Bukhan Inkwon Pok Bande because he had a press conference about 15 years ago when U.S. Congress passed the Bukhan Inkwon Pok. He had a press conference against Bande. And he criticized Bukhan Inkwon. We're against Bukhan Inkwon. And he was also made a support committee, Puwon-hwae, for Ye Jong-un, for the Ganchop. He was supporting him when he was arrested. Very close with American Gongsangbang, also attend a meeting in LA Gongsangbang Samushil, attending a meeting. And as you can see in this picture, he was also at the meeting, the welcome meeting for Chang Min-ho, the spy from the Il-Shimuhae, the Sagon. Here is Chung Yeon-jin of the Action for One Korea group. She is a close friend of Roh Gil-nam, supporter of Roh Gil-nam, goes to the meetings of Minjok Tongshin. She also is close with American Communist Party, Miguk Gongsangbang. She is another person who goes to meetings in the office of the Miguk Gongsangbang, and she welcomes at the rallies, at the Shiwi, the members of the Miguk Gongsangbang. She was also a good friend of Shin Eun-mi. She really made Shin Eun-mi famous because several years ago she invited Shin Eun-mi to give many lectures at her Action for One Korea group. Her husband, as you may know, is one of the editors at the Korea Daily, Mr. Lee Won-young, who's also a good friend of Roh Gil-nam. Lee Won-young of the Korea Daily, opinion editor, went to North Korea together with Minjok Tongshin's Roh Gil-nam, and you see her there at the Tanek Chokbul Shiwi. In that picture on the other side, you see her at a meeting with Roh Gil-nam. You see her, and then Roh Gil-nam at that meeting. There's a video of it. Roh Gil-nam said, "President Park Geun-hye is a dirty prostitute." And when he said it, Chung Yeon-jin was very happy to hear it. Disgusting, disgusting. Next slide. Here is Lee Chol-ho. He is a member of Nejeo는 사람들, and he's also a 기자, but I call him 가짜 기자, fake reporter, because he writes for 한겨레 신문. He was involved with 제비동포 전국연합회 and against Choi Jun-hee. I call him 가짜 기자 because a reporter is not supposed to be involved in the story. Reporter is just reporting, not being 시위군, just a reporter. But he, even though he's a reporter for 한겨레 신문, he's leading the demo. This is from Minjok TV. That's Roh Gil-nam's video. Roh Gil-nam was filming, and you can see 청와대 X-녀 박근혜 퇴진 LA 집회. He was leading the demo, and then he's writing for 한겨레 신문. So it's not a real reporter. It's not the right way of reporter. I also call him 가짜 기자 because in 2014, we had an event to honor Korean War veterans, American Korean War veterans. Seok-gu came here from Korea, and he and I and other people from Korea, we had an event, and we had 100 people there. Big event. So Igicho 가짜 기자 wait for the event finish. Then when event is closed, finished, 끝났어, take a picture for Oh My News. Big picture. We had 100 people, but 행사 끝나면 사진 찍었어. 사람들이 그 가짜 news, Oh My News. The next. Here's Lee In-suk. She's a writer for Minjok Tongshin. 제미동포 전국연합회, hates America, hates the country she lives in. She's a nurse at a local hospital. 간호사 이상하게 racist, 인종 차별주의. We call her the 종북 Nazi. She's here leading. You can see her. That's her and her husband. You can see Park Geun-hye Taejin. She was marching, leading the march of Taejin. There's her with Roh Gil-nam of Minjok Tongshin, and on the other side, Son Se-young. They're giving her an award for her excellent columnist, her excellent writing on Minjok Tongshin. We call her 종북 Nazi because in her articles, she's always wanting to kill people. We have to cut off the head of 미국 대통령, cut off the head of 대한민국 대통령. We call her Nazi because she often uses like Hitler 같은 like for example, she said the big problem in the world is the Bible, belief in God, the Bible, and the Bible came about because of the Jews. So therefore, North Korea must destroy the Jews, kill all the Jews, so we can destroy the Bible. That's her really crazy. So we call her 종북 Nazi. So Seung-hae is the leader of a group I call front group because it pretends to be 노동자 group, Koreatown Immigrant Workers Alliance, but it's actually Chimbuk group. You can see there the same Minjok Tongshin video of her leading the Tanhaek rally. She was 대표 of Minjok Tongshin, Rogan Nam's group. She used to go to Communist Party event and say, I'm here as 대표 for Minjok Tongshin, and she gives speech at the Communist Party event. She also, in New York, she started a group called 노두돌. 노두돌 in New York, they have a LA branch. It's a youth group. 한국 청년, 교포 청년, and they send young people to North Korea to be indoctrinated, brainwashing in North Korea. And she started that group. She started that group with the advice of, with the suggestion of one ganchok, Song Do-yul. You remember the Song Do-yul case in Korea many years ago? He was found to be a spy for North Korea and then went to Germany. He visited New York and helped establish with Seo the 노두돌 group on his advice, his suggestion. She also very close with the American Communist Party. She again, another person who visited 미국 공산당 사무실 for meetings and collaborates with them. 미국 공산당과 협력합니다. There's a picture of her on the far right side, the First Lady, and Rogan Nam is speaking. They're in Washington, D.C. They're lobbying 평화협정. 북한인권 반대. Their lobbying event, and Rogan Nam is speaking, and she is on the far right side there. Here are the 종북 종교인, 중국 종교인. This was at one of the Park Geun-hye Taejin rallies, and these are the 종교인 delegation. Here's Kim Gi-dae of the 평화의 교회. We call it the Jimbuk 교회 in LA. He is the 부회장 of the LA 6.15 실천 단체, deputy leader. There's Seung-bae, the leader of Pominyeon in LA. He's also 목사. Jongmae, Buddhist Wonbulgyo leader in LA. His Wonbulgyo Center in LA is used for meetings of the pro-North group and communist group. He opened, just like Kim Gi-dae opened up Pyeonghwa Kyobe, his church open for all of the Jongbuk groups meeting. Also the Buddhist, Park Shin-hwa, a friend of Rogan Nam, also there. And finally, Kim Yo-han, Catholic Shinbu, was there. All pro-North individuals. On this side, you can see they have the picture of the church. This is Kim Gi-dae's church, Pyeonghwa Kyoe, and you can see they're singing a song. The song is not Hallelujah. The song is not about the Lord. The song is Park Geun-hye와 사활을 지라 in the church, political activities in the church. Here is Kim Shi-hwan. He is the LA branch leader of the Miju Mingahyop Yangshim-su Huonwei. The leader in U.S., overall leader of the Yangshim-su Huonwei is Chang Min-ho, the ganchok from the Ilshimwei Sagon. And Mr. Kim Shi-hwan here, you can see in front of the Hanguk Chongyong Sagwan having a demo, and he's very close also to American Communist Party. Just a couple of months ago, he gave a speech, like I'm giving today. He gave a speech at the American Communist Party office. He gave a speech there, and there's a picture of him with his boss. You can see Kim Shi-hwan is this side, and the other side is Chang Min-ho, his boss. That was in Washington, D.C. So you can see the connection there. This is a funny story. This man here is Kim Eung-jin. He's a writer for Rogan Nam's Minjok Tongshin, columnist. And he writes things that are really crazy, like, so we can call him Crazy Kyosu, because he's a professor at Caltech, a famous scientist, a brilliant scientist, expert on human genome and molecular biology. But when it comes to politics, he's crazy, because he writes in his column, if you study the works of Kim Il-sung, you can be cured of any disease. And he's a scientist who wrote that. So he was at He was at the Jopol Shibi, and he was interviewed by the LA Tupawon of JTBC. That's the JTBC correspondent. So she interviewed him as a typical Korean American, average Jamie Kyopo man on the street, didn't know who he was, completely ignorant, just interviewed him. Oh, you're a Korean American citizen? What do you think of Park Geun-hye? Oh, she didn't report who he was, didn't say he's columnist for me, just ordinary citizen there. And here you see him there. This is the house of Ro Gyun-nam. Ro Gyun-nam has end of year Jipduri party, and there he is here, Mr. Kim Eung-jin. At the Ro Gyun-nam's party. This is a young guy. You see, they have a young member of Minjok Tongshin, Ro Gyun-nam mentoring him. And this guy sometimes is filming, that young guy, and writes at filming the Minjok Tongshin event. And one day he said he's filming Minjok Tongshin event and he sees a Taegoki event nearby. We had Taegoki events. He goes, I see there's Lawrence Peck. If he's not known Lawrence Peck, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. He didn't kill me. I'm still here, but he threatened like that. He's just a young Korean American guy, like many of your children or grandchildren, but he also was at a Ro Gyun-nam gave speech at U.S. Communist Party office, and that young guy went there, and he took the microphone, and he said, I can't understand why people don't like North Korea. North Korea is the best country in the world. If I have my choice, I want to live in North Korea. It's so much better. This young guy, just ordinary Korean, brainwashing. Here you see on the left side a photo of one of the Park Geun-hye Taejin Tanek rallies, and you can see the radical, extreme nature of their slogans, of their banners. You can see 다 반대, 전쟁 반대, 평화 협정 체결하자. And here, step down Park Geun-hye, very radical. 법원, 언론, 재벌, 청산하자. Destroy all of the Republic of Korea, all of the institutions of a free society. Let's have Inmun Gomaguk. And those are their slogans. Very radical, extreme slogans. You can see on the right side, there's another picture of the Tanhaek rally in Korea. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. This is not from the 2016 December Tanhaek rally. This picture is from 2013, 2013년. But impeach Park Geun-hye, 2013년. Same slogan, same rally. They were doing 3 years before, the same thing. Here is Yoon Il-sung of Jamie Dongpo Chonbuk Yonapwe, the man who, according to Donga TV, reported, he said, Kim Il-sung is the new Jesus of Korean Minjok. This man is a fellow Lee Ne-un. You can see Jimbodang supporting Jimbodang in Korea. He is the leader of the U.S. branch of the Minju Party, the Minjudang Huonwei, thus they call Minju Forum. He is officially, when Minjudang Gukhaewon visit LA, he's hosting them, sponsoring them, Minjudang, and here he's with sign supporting Jimbodang. Finally, this is the problem that we face as Ewokosu patriots. The problem and the advantage that the Jimbuk and the pro-North people have. Their advantages. They have young people who they're able to brainwash and convince to participate in the rallies. On this side, you can see there Ro Gyun-nam's video of one of the big Tanhaek rallies. And this was a student from UCLA, Korean-American student from UCLA, and they brought her to this rally, and she's saying, get rid of the Park regime, and she spoke there, and she didn't know, I'm hoping, I'm guessing, she didn't know the person on the right side of her, person left side of her is a Jongbuk leader, or Minjok Tongshin, or Ganchop, or Migo Gongsanang. She didn't know. They just told her, oh, it's rally for democracy and for clean government. Oh, okay, very good. Pyonghwa Tongil. So she went there and she gave a speech. That's the problem. Another problem, this is also a problem on the other side here. This happened to be the comment, Facebook comment of, she happens to be a Korean-American lawyer in LA. And at one of the Tanhaek rallies, we also had Taegoki rally opposing them. And she got very angry, this lady, and she wrote on Facebook, she wanted to thank some speaker at the Tanhaek rally. So she said, thank you for your speech. And she got mad at the Taegoki people. She wrote, my grandparents also came from North Korea, and it pains me. I'm so angry when I see the Taegoki people. They're evil opportunists. Taegoki people, evil opportunists, and they're calling us communists. We're not communists. She didn't know that the person standing on the right side of her was communist, and person standing on the left side of her communist, and the next guy is the other people. All the people I showed you before were at the rally with her together. She was surrounded by all those people who I just showed you, but she didn't know. She said, oh, 진보 한사람, 통일운동가. She didn't know they're 종북 or communist. So she just said, oh, they call us communists. I don't understand. These are all good people here. With it. She didn't know. It was ignorance. Finally, as I mentioned, we had rallies opposing impeachment. There's one strange guy there. You can see I made that sign there. And you can see right here, there's him with the megaphone on this side. We had our rallies to oppose them. I'm sorry, one word got cut off here. The problem is, and the problem remains, we lack an organized conservative movement here in LA. That's the problem. Now the solution. The solution, problem, no solid, permanent, conservative 애국보수 organization in LA. There's no collaboration also between Korean American 애국보수들, like all of you, and non-Korean, like me, conservative 애국보수. There's not much connection, not much collaboration. We need to increase it. The solution, the key point here, is that we need to build the Save Korea Foundation into a solid and a permanent, not one just for 1 week or 1 month, permanent conservative group to fight back against, to expose the 미국내 종북 세력, because that's what they fear. They fear exposure. Because if we expose them, if we say who they are, then the young people cannot think, oh, they're just 평화 통일 or democracy. They'll know, oh, this person is communist, this person is 종북. So we need a framework, an organization, a group of leaders that we can use to organize and take concrete action, just like in Korea. So those are my comments, and I thank you very much.